It's time for Down Home in the Tri-States with your host, Ron Jones. If it's farming, gardening, information, or just plain interesting, you can catch it all right here on Down Home in the Tri-States.
Good morning, glad to have you all with us on Down Home in the Tri-States. I'm Ron Jones, and we're on every Saturday morning at 5:30 right here on News 13 WMBB. And we certainly do appreciate you watching this program and doing business with our sponsors. That's what keeps us on the air. The sponsors provide this show to you, okay? I just do it. They provide it, okay? Y'all remember that. Go do business with them. Oh, let's see what we got. I want to tell you about a few things. I got the Diane Watson over at Panhandle Pioneer Settlement sent me some stuff on the custom knife show and sale that's coming up April the 26th. It's a 2014 event, and it starts from 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. At the event location is the Panhandle Pioneer Settlement, 17869 Northwest Pioneer Settlement Road. That's in Bluntstown, Florida. Just take Highway 20 east or west, and when you get to Silas Green Street, go north. Okay, you'll find it. The event description is the Panhandle Pioneer Settlement celebrating its 6th annual custom knife show and sale on Saturday, April 26, 2014, in the beautifully restored Frink Gymnasium from Frink, Florida. Old Ducky Johnson cut that thing in half and hauled it up from Frink, Florida to Bluntstown and put it back together and did a real good job. But they just restored it again, and it's really, really nice. This event begins at 8 o'clock a.m. Central Daylight Time. Y'all remember that. And will showcase many vendors' craftsmanship in the art of knife making. This is really interesting. Y'all need to take those young'uns and let them see how this stuff's done. There'll be a $5 donation at the door. That's how they operate this museum on this settlement on donations, folks. The Southern Knife Makers will be at the Panhandle Pioneer Settlement to show and sell one-of-a-kind knives. If you enjoy handmade knives, this is the place to be. If you do not see a knife that you want, then talk to the knife makers and order your own custom-made knife. They'll make them custom for you, how you want them. They'll just tell them what you want. But there'll also be a demonstration by John Butler on making knives at the Settlement's blacksmith shop at 9 a.m. It opens at 8, and then the blacksmith thing starts at 9, so y'all remember that. Just call Diane at 674-2777. That's 674-2777. Or you can email her at Diane, D-I-A-N-E, at panhandlepioneer.org. Diane at panhandlepioneer.org for any more details. Let's see what else we got going on here. I believe that's about it. That's going to be the big thing at Panhandle Pioneer Settlement. Jerry Henson reports that he and Betty spent a few days camping over at Lake Seminole. The fishing wasn't that great with the wind, rain, and the cool weather going on, but they did manage to catch a few bass and crappie and enough to stick in the frying pan anyway and have a little feast off of them. Betty got this beautiful yellow perch. And Jerry said that the locals are saying that more and more are now showing up. And if y'all like yellow perch, they're starting to come in over there. But you need to check with the FWC website now for restrictions on these, okay? FWC website for restrictions on the yellow perch. Jerry and Betty Henson, I appreciate that, and we certainly do appreciate it. Let's see, I think that's about all the announcements we got right now. Well, today's show we're going to have some highlights from the Tom and Mamie Hayes Bluegrass Jamboree. That was last Saturday. We attended that, and we're going to have some of that on so y'all enjoy that. We'll be letting y'all know later on when the next one's going to be because everybody's invited now. Oh, Alto Carroll, he went on a little trip and he went to visit this Florida Civil War Heritage Trail. Real nice thing, and he shot a lot of footage on that. Brought me a book back too. Alto, I appreciate that, man. A lot of good stuff in here. But we're going to have that on. He got a lot of good footage over there, and we're going to be having that on, and that's some upcoming shows. Also, he went to an air show down there. So that's why he went down there to an air show. It's like a model plane thing, but it's jets. And these things are big and fast. I mean, they got regular little jet engines in them. This is really neat. So he said, Ron, I couldn't keep up with them though. He said, it was too fast for me. Well, unless you got some experience doing that. I mean, a lot of experience. It's hard to do that. It's hard for me sometimes to do that. But Alto, I appreciate that. Oh, brought me a Confederate flag too. I appreciate that, Alto. I'm gonna put that on the set here. He knows I'm a Confederate history buff, and I'm proud of my heritage. I tell you what, I am probably more proud of it than a lot of people are, but a lot of people don't care for it, but I do, okay? And that's the way I grew up, and I'm from the South and proud to be from the South, and that's my heritage right there, and I don't want nobody to take it away from me. If it's up to me, they ain't gonna take it away from me, so y'all remember that. Anyway, y'all watch this from our sponsors, and we'll be back in just a minute with Tom and Mamie Hayes. Also, we're gonna have part 2 in our series from the Jackson County Horticultural Agent, and we're going to be having that on, talking about azaleas and stuff, and when to prune flowers and things like that. So y'all watch that, and we'll be right back in just a minute.
Main Street Market in Chipley is this area's headquarters for top quality livestock and pet feed. Paul Davidson and Main Street Market carries only the best and most freshest feed you'll find anywhere in the Tri-States area. Cattle feed, dog feed, horse feed, rabbit feed, goat feed, chicken feed. From top quality Semino, the preferred feed for show animals, to FRM, Tucker, and more. To roll hay and baled hay, Main Street Market on the corner of Highway 90 and 77 in Chipley, Florida has it all. Main Street Market is also your fresh and frozen vegetable and fruit outlet, plus deer cord and pine straw. Main Street Market, tell them old Ron sent you. Register Meat Company, founded 70 years ago by Sparks Happy Register, and they've been providing that good ham, bacon, and sausage ever since. A tradition in the South for over 70 years. You can also find all of these great products at Register Store in Cottondale, Florida. Just like old Andy always said, it's good.
Wow, this snow sure is gritty and salty. No, silly, this is sand, not snow. So that's why it's so hot. Yeah, but thank goodness our daddy owns A+ Air Conditioning. He keeps our home as cold as Alaska. Cool. Hey, I'll race you home.
For the most professional, most reliable, and most preferred air conditioning service in the area, call A+ Air Conditioning, 850-230-3009.
Okay, bet you I can win.
Remember the name, there's only one, A+ Air Conditioning. If they don't answer the phone, A+ Air Conditioning, you've got the wrong number. Call 850-230-3009. A+ Air Conditioning. Uh-oh, my well pump quit working. What? You mean I gotta wait a week for parts? I can't go a week without water? Folks, how many times have you heard that? Don't put yourself through misery when your well pump stops working. Call the man, Water Dan. Dan can get you up and going the day you call him. Unlike most well pump repairmen, Water Dan stocks and carries on his pump truck the parts you need to repair your pump. It may just be a simple adjustment. It doesn't matter whether it's a home, school, farm irrigation pump, business, livestock, pool. Water Dan can give you an honest opinion and do you an honest job. I use Water Dan anytime I have a problem because I know I can trust Water Dan, and I will have water today. Put this number on your fridge and call the man, Water Dan, 850-535-9308, 535-9308. Call the man, Water Dan. Water Dan is the customer's man.
Well, let's move into the ornamental landscaping plants. How do we take care of things like, say, roses or the azaleas that are they're getting ready to start blooming shortly?
The biggest thing about ornamentals, and I'll start off with planting. A lot of times people think, the spring, they see plants coming in to nurseries, things like that in the spring. The truth of it is the best time to plant ornamentals is in the fall and the winter. You don't want to really, that gives them a little bit of a head start, because as long as the ground has some warmth to it, the top will stay dormant.
And
give those roots a chance to really establish themselves. So when the heat comes on these plants are much better established and ready to go along and grow and really produce. Now the thing about different plants, like azaleas for example, you need to look at when they're going to bloom as to when you're going to prune them. Azaleas, for example, they set their flower buds back in the late summer. So they've had their flower buds on them all the way through winter, and they're going to be ready to start flowering here before too long. Typically, I use something I call a May rule. The May rule, in my opinion, in my definition of it, is if a plant flowers before May, then you want to prune it after it flowers. You don't want to prune it before it flowers. For example, so azaleas, they're going to bloom before May. And the reason that you don't want to prune an azalea, say now or before May, is because if you were to prune it now, you would cut all those flower buds off.
You're cutting the buds off.
Another example of a plant that you would prune as far as the May rule are crepe myrtles. Crepe myrtles bloom after May. So you prune them before they flower. So you prune them generally in February, early March, those type of years, because they're going to flower on new growth. So figure out and know when those particular plants are going to flower. Once you know when they're going to flower, that gives you an idea of when you're going to prune them. But one other thing about pruning does kind of, it does push growth. The plant wants to replace the material that you've taken off.
Replaces it with new materials.
So if you go in and you were to start to prune right now, it's going to start to want to produce new growth. Well, what happens in that case is you're going to find out that this material, this new growth that comes out, is not cold hardy whatsoever. So if we have a cold snap that happens here in the next couple of weeks to a month, this new growth is very tender and it's going to be damaged. So you want to really wait as long as you can. The earliest I would start to prune anything would be, like I said, those plants that bloom after May, or any plants that don't really bloom. Say, we're looking at, say, like Chinese hollies, different things like that. The earliest you want to start pruning them would be probably late February, early March. If you do that, that way, when it does start to produce that new growth, you're not going to be looking at a situation where you have this tender growth coming out that can be easily damaged by a cold snap.
He could have been an engineer, a navigator, a teacher, or a veterinarian. But rather than wear any one of those hats, he chose to wear all of them. He's a Florida farmer.
Hydroport Steering. Is this amazing or what? Joe Riley and the gang at Rhino Boat announced the magical wonders of hydraulic steering. If you're like me and bothered by that old darn arthritis, Hydroport Steering is the answer. Quick and easy maneuverability, one-finger steering, ease of access to launching and loading. Hydroport Steering is the answer we've all been waiting for. Only at Joe's Motor Service. Call them today and tell them you want to see this baby Ron's been talking about. Leave it to the gang at Rhino Boat. I love my Hydroport Steering. Let's talk about something that's going to help you out financially, economically, and personally. Let's talk about Doug's Motorized Bicycles. Doug Holmes is well known throughout the Tri-States area for helping people just like yourself with all of these things. Doug has been in the business of getting people around from place to place for a long time. Doug's motorized and electric bicycles are affordably priced and economically less expensive to operate than most other forms of transportation. It's easy to lose your license these days for just about anything, and for many people, this can be devastating, especially if you have to get to work to feed your family and pay the bills. Doug's gasoline 2- and 4-stroke bicycles can get you up to 150 miles per gallon. That's right, folks, 150 miles to the gallon. Doug's electric bicycles get you a lot further on the charge than most other electric bicycles. Doug's bicycles come complete with high-quality bicycles starting at $395. You can even lay away if you need. Or if you have your own bicycle, you can just get the kit installed or install install it yourself. Doug also services both gas and electric motors. Folks, this is not a fly-by-night operation. Doug Holmes is a qualified and licensed dealer of motorized bicycles. Doug has most parts in stock for both gas and electric. Don't pay shipping charges. Come pick up your parts locally and usually for less. The weather is right and it's time right now, and this is a good way for you and your family to get out and enjoy a ride together. And remember, if you've been putting off getting a job because you don't have transportation, well, Doug solved your problem. Call Doug now. He's waiting on your call. Mention Ron Jones for a down-home discount. Call Doug now. quality, craftsmanship, the best portable building you can get. You need to come to Atlas Portable Buildings and Garages. It's all built right here on site in Panama City, folks. Y'all come do business with them. State inspected and approved. Stop paying for somebody else's building. At Atlas, you can rent to own. Choose from a big selection or have it built to your need. Top grade 2x4 studs, pressure treated floor joists. Need a strong, well-built garage? We can build them too. At last. Atlas Portable Buildings and Garages you can trust. It's the best product you're going to find when it comes to portable buildings and garages. Come see Dwayne Phillips. Atlas Portable Buildings and Garages on Highway 231 across from Gulf Asphalt.
The season is around the corner. So get a brand new Kubota Commander zero-turn mower during Kubota's Get Something Started sales event. Now, get zero down and 0% APR financing for up to 36 months on a powerful Commander. Get professional performance, precision mowing, comfort, styling, and a full 4-year factory warranty during Kubota's Get Something Started sales event.
See and save on all Kubota tractors and equipment at Soul Tractor today.
We are Steel, German-engineered chainsaws and landscape products.
The majority of which are made here in America.
By Americans.
Steel, built in America and sold exclusively by local Steel dealers. Legendary Steel chainsaws start at just $179.95. Hardworking Steel blowers start at just $149.95. Visit SteelDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
Good old Bob says see and save on all Steel equipment at Soul Tractor now.
If you need metal roofing cut to fit but don't have time to wait 4 or 5 days a week, then you need to come to Surplus and Savage of Chipley. It's as simple as bringing your truck or trailer. Just tell them how much you want, how long. Metal roofing is made on the spot, on site. They can even make ridge cap, drip edge, flashing. Whatever you need, they'll make it. Get the lowest price. Galvalume $1.30 a foot. 8 colors available at a low $1.79 a foot. Folks, you won't find this low price anywhere else on metal roofing. Cut to fit. They got it at Surplus and Savage of Chipley. Highway 90 West. Call them at 850-638-7353. Ask about their low-cost pole barn kits, too. Surplus and Salvage of Chipley.
She doesn't tuck her hand up again. $26 bill, boy. Come on in here, 27, maybe 27, 27, anybody 27 and a half, 27, 25, 27, 27, anybody 27, 27, $27 bill over there, roll away. All right, that's 27, 20, 21. In the back, 27, all right, $28 bill, maybe $28 bill, here, 85, 87, 29 $29, 29 bill. Pardon? $30 bill. All right. $30 bill, ladies and gentlemen. Who'll make it right now? $31 bill, 41, 31, $33 bill, $31 bill. Make 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, 31, 31, 31 here. 31 going over that, 31 going over that, 31 going over that, 31 going over that. We're going to set up a $32 bill right there. $32 bill right there. Next 20, wait, whoa. 33, ladies and gentlemen, we got two people bid against each other. All right. $33 bill, Mr. Wayne said now, maybe $34 bill. Next to G, made 34, and here's 35 on the right. 35 on the right, 34, 34, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35. He got 34.
He said $40. He said
$40. 10-4 over that. $40 bill, ladies and gentlemen. $40 bill, everywhere. Anybody beat the $40 bill? $41, 41, 42, 42, 41, 41, 42, 42 back down, 42. 42, 42, 41, 42, 42, you got 42. All right, who got 43, 43, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 43 and a half, 43 and a half, 43, 44, 44, 45, 45, go over $43 bills so far, right? 10, 4, 4, 30, $43 bills, $35 bills. Woo! Wait. 45 for Mr. Wayne over here, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody cop 45, 45 and a half, 45 and a half, 45, 75, 45, 40, $46 bill. Anybody here, top of $46 bill. Okay, so's the man with the white hat on over there. $45 bill.